Okay, you guys, so Drop decided to send over the Drop Alt as well as some Holy Panda switches and their Skylight Keycaps that I do have quite a few thoughts about. I'll start this video off saying that at first, I did not think I was gonna like the Drop Alt really at all. The biggest complaint that I had was the light diffusion at the bottom. It just didn't really look like it was diffused that well. And personally, that's kind of what kept me from getting the Drop Alt in the first place for so long, because it's been out for what, the better part of like 2.5, 3 years almost, I want to say. Maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 years. But I feel like I've been looking at the Drop Alt for quite a while, and something about it was just very off-putting. But I'm glad that I get to review it today with the Holy Panda switches, and this one is the high profile case, so these sides are a little bit taller as well. And I actually really enjoyed this keyboard. I'm pleasantly surprised that I really didn't think that I would enjoy it. But I do have a number of changes to request for the revision that should come out hopefully sooner than later, because this keyboard, even though it is pretty good, there are some things that you gotta work on with it to make it even better. Before we hop right into the Drop Alt, let's talk about the keycaps, the Skylight series that Drop has on offer. And I don't even know what the price is, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I wouldn't buy them at all. The Skylight series keycaps honestly are not that good. My spacebar, it did work, but Maniac Geek on Twitter got me hip to the fact that the spacebar, even though it may work, is not perfect. And he said he had a lot of issues with his. And I look at mine while I was redoing and put on the new keycaps and whatnot, and the spacebar was warped pretty badly. And even if the keycaps are free, I would use them up until I got something else. And hopefully the keycaps that they give you are not bad. So really, it's just massive issues with the space bar. Shine through, honestly speaking, the Drop Alt is not the brightest RGB keyboard, so I wouldn't really use them for the shine through either, even though the RGBs are north facing. But unless your room is extremely dark, the shine through effect really isn't gonna give you any benefit. It's not a Razer keyboard. Razer obviously has some of the best RGB lights on a keyboard, and I know that Bad Seed even talked about the lighting on the Drop Alt not being that great if you don't raise the power limit from your USB port through your motherboard. And I don't have this plugged into my motherboard. Honestly, my computer's kind of far away from my setup, so I don't have time for that, and I'm not going to go on my motherboard settings and change the voltages and all that crazy stuff. I'm just not doing it. So the RGB shine through effect on the Drop Alt, not that great. The Skylight keycaps, not that great, wouldn't buy them. Now getting back to the Drop Alt here, I do have a GMK laser on this with the novelties and the space bars, and it does look pretty clean and it sounds pretty good as well. Thanks again to Drop for sending over those Holy Panda switches, and they're a lot better than I thought that they were going to be too. And these things are some thought lords, but the Holy Panda switches stock are not good at all. Like, do not use these switches stock. Here's a quick sound test with those Skylight keycaps of the Holy Panda stock. Oh my god, these things suck. Okay, so you guys heard those switches, right? I mean, you gotta lube them. You absolutely have to lube them. Holy Pandas, in my opinion, are kind of like creams. Like, they suck. Like, absolutely, they're trash, horrible. If you do not take the time and take them apart and lube them, like you have to. So that's exactly what we did. I took them apart, I lube them by hand, used some Crytox 205 grade 0, and honestly, they sound way better. I'll give you a sound test in just a second, but before we go to the next sound test, I just want to talk about these stock stabilizers that Drop gives you, because these things are so dry. Like, I don't even know if there's any lube on these. Basically, Drop, they just don't lube stock stabilizers at all, so that's why these sounded horrible on the stock Drop Alt. Basically, you got to take this thing apart, you got to clip your stabilizers, and you got to lube them with some 205 grade 0. Now, I went the extra mile. I used some stab pads, and I also swapped the stabilizers for some Join Keys Holy Panda theme stabilizers so the board matches from the inside. All the switches and all the stabilizers match. And the Join Keys stabilizers actually sound pretty good for some clip-in stabs when you use some 205 grade 0 and some stab pads. Now, after listening to the Holy Pandas lube, honestly speaking, these things are pretty lit. Like hearing them, feeling them, like these things are really smooth, like not much scratch at all. And honestly speaking, I'm surprised that like I've never decided to buy these before. I was telling myself, I was like, yeah, you know, like I'll probably get some Holy Pandas like at some point, but not really a big tactile fan. These Holy Pandas, everybody says like the tactility is like super crazy, but like it's not. Like I feel like Kiwis are more tactile than this, and both of U4Ts, like this is like a medium tactile bump. It's nothing crazy, it's definitely usable, and you can use these Holy Pandas for gaming too. Like it's not like an insane amount of tactility in my opinion. These are just some really nice and very usable tactiles that you can use for just about anything. Like I wouldn't say that these are like a typing switch. The Kiwis, those are a typing switch. Like that tactility is rough, really rough. Like I wouldn't game on Kiwis at all. These are usable, and they also deliver those deep thocks. These things sound so good, especially with the GMK keycaps. This is GMK laser. You guys have probably seen it a million times. And honestly, like with this, nice and deep thocks. Like it's really nice. The space bar, even with clip-in stabs, the space bar even sounds pretty good after you apply some lube. The drop all, this thing is a thock lord. Like I was surprised at like how good this thing is. Even using like cherry profile keycaps, I don't really feel or hear like much interference at all. So maybe it's just the switch design of the Holy Pandas is good or something, I don't know. Cherry profile keycaps on this thing with north facing LEDs are fine. And overall, like I'm pretty happy with this build. The Holy Pandas sound really good on this keyboard. I'm probably trying them eventually on some other boards. If you're looking for something that has a lot of like side RGB and you're not really too worried about the RGB being in the middle of the keyboard with all of the keys and having like insanely good shine through effects, because you will be extremely disappointed if that's what you expect with this keyboard. But this board sounds really good. It looks decent. Like I give the looks of the drop all probably about a 6.5 out of 10. Like it's not the most glorious looking board. It's a pretty nice package for the price, but the problems that I have with the drop all are the fact that it doesn't take screw-in stabilizers. So unless you put a lot of lube on those clip-in stabilizers like I did, and swap them also like I did, it starts to get really expensive. Oh, also one more thing to mention that's pretty novel is you got dual USB Type-C, so you can put it on the left side or you can put it on the right side. I'm gonna have it on the right side for the rest of this review. This cable is also from Test Cable, super cheap, 30 bucks, straight aviator cable, really nice. Anyways, but again, the drop all is not perfect. Things that I wanna see in the next revision of the drop all. First thing I wanna see, more powerful LEDs for the main keys, and also better light diffusion around the keyboard. Like the fact that I can kind of see where all the LEDs are kind of sucks a little bit. Like that's not my favorite thing, but if they can make that diffusion a lot better, I will love the aesthetics of this board a lot. Also, I would like to see screw-in stabilizer support from the PCB. So the fact that you can't use screw-in stabilizers kind of sucks, even though this board looks and feels really premium. I would love to see screw-in stabilizer support. They don't even have to include them in a box, because as we've seen with these stabs, I mean, are they usable? Yeah, but they kind of suck. And the drop Carina supports 5-pin hot swap switches, so why doesn't the drop all? It should get an update very soon is what I would like to see. Like before the end of the year, I would love for drop to start offering a 5-pin hot swap PCB in the drop all. But otherwise, it's a pretty decent keyboard. Even though this aluminum is extremely heavy and really premium, I still find it kind of hard to believe that this keyboard is a little bit on the pricier side. The fact that the bare bones kit is $190 for the high profile all, which is honestly speaking the only one that I would consider, because I think the high profile definitely looks the best. That is extremely pricey, but when you get this board fully built with those Skylight keycaps, when you get the Halo switches, you get the Speed Silvers, or you get MX Blues, it's $230 for the high profile and $200 for the low profile drop all. To be completely honest with you, I wouldn't do those, unless you're just interested in those switches, because those keycaps, as I said, are not good at all. But if you just want to try out those Halo switches, it's probably better just to buy one of the bundles anyways, because the packs with switches are like $35 to $45 anyways. So you might as well just get the free keycaps pretty much with the keyboard. And yeah, I mean, I think that just makes the most sense when it comes to buying the drop alt. But if you guys are interested in everything that I use to make my drop alt into this little thought beast, I will leave everything linked in the description below. So I'll leave a link to the drop alt, the Holy Panda switches, some 205 grade zero lube, as well as the tools I use to lube them, the GMK laser keycaps, as well as these join keys, Holy Panda theme stabilizers that sound and feel really good for clip-ins. That is going to be it for this video. If you guys enjoyed, feel free to drop a like and subscribe to the channel as well. I want to thank you guys for watching this quick little episode of Too Much Tech. I say quick, but I bet you this is like 10 or 15 minutes long. It's not that quick, but fairly quick review of the drop alt. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you again.